This is the future.
I know some of you remembered the very first Plague Star event, and I know you have seen that era wherein Plague Kripath Zaws are monsters and has one of the best DPS in the game. Those were the days wherein we can't still reach 12 times combo multiplier easily, and the only way to do it is to stay for hours in a survival mission and hope that you don't get bored and make a mistake of accidentally not hitting enemies and starting back to 0 combo multiplier. That was very annoying, but still, the Plague Kripath, especially the pole arm version, was one of the top melee weapons during that era, and you will agree that status was the king during those times. But things have changed now. Condition overload received a big nerf and we can easily reach 12 times combo multiplier. Well, despite the nerf, condition overload can still perform better, especially if you have a primer weapon in hand. It can still give you more damage compared to primed pressure point and is useful for those players who like to run against high-level enemies in steel path missions or just do insane endurance runs in survival missions. But squad leader, are you still using the old Plague Kripath Zaw? Yes, I am still using the old status monster Plague Kripath Zaw, but this isn't the only Plague Kripath Zaw I will be showing in this video. There's also a red crit variation, and one that I have been using to nuke enemies. But before we go to the new variants, let's discuss first the old Plague Kripath Zaw that I am using. The old Plague Kripath Zaw I'm using is a combination of Equana Ji2 Link, Plague Bokwin Grip, and Plague Kripath Strike. With these parts, the Zaw will have 18 base critical chance with 2.2 times critical damage multiplier and a whopping 25% status chance. The part may be the same, but the build is different now. The past build I have was pure viral with some critical chance from Blood Rush and high status chance with 2 dual status chance mods and the Weeping Wounds Acolyte mod. I did this because the highest combo count you can get in the past, on average, is only about 3 to 4 times combo multiplier and sometimes can go to 6 times to 8 times in long endurance runs. I'm not saying you can't achieve 12 times combo multiplier in the past, but all I'm saying is that it took ages to finally get that max combo counter. But right now, 12 times combo count is achievable in a matter of seconds. That is why I trimmed down the status chance in my build. In fact, you can use another elemental mod for this Plague Kripath, but you will need to add additional format to fit in another dash polarity for the primed fever strike. Weeping Wounds will just take care of the rest of the status chance, and knowing that we can easily achieve 12 times combo multiplier, it's also safe to say that we can go 100% status chance easily with this build. Because of how high the status chance of this build also, I decided to go with corrosive instead of a pure viral build. Simply because it's better for the condition overload mod, which adds 80% melee damage per status. Another advantage of this build is that you strip armor and damage the health at the same time, making it easier to kill heavily armored enemies. If you are facing another faction, just mod for the combined elements that the faction is weak against. The good thing about the old Plague Kripath is it can melt enemies without the need of primer weapons, since you can proc a couple of status and physical damage to the enemies, giving you more damage bonus from your condition overload mod. However, with an 18% critical chance, there's no chance to see those sweet red crits while using this weapon normally. You would need to rely on Warframe abilities and other stuff like the Adaza Kavat's Cat Eye buff and some critical chance arcane to somehow go up to orange crit numbers. But wait, don't feel sad, as you can still red crit with a Plague Kripath Zaw. Instead of the 18% critical chance and 25% status chance build for our Plague Kripath, we will go all for a 36% critical chance with only 10% status chance. To craft this red crit Plague Kripath Zaw, you will need the Varjeet2Ji link, or the Varjeet2 Ruhang link. Also works with more total damage but slower attack speed, and the Seekler grip. For the build, it's all about critical chance, critical damage, elemental mods, and gladiator mods to somehow get you into those red crit numbers without needing the help of Warframe abilities and arcanes. And of course, condition overload for more damage. What the hell, squad leader, this Zaw is not a status-oriented melee weapon, and you don't have any dual status chance nor the Weeping Wounds mods to increase the status chance of this Zaw. We don't need that, as we heavily rely on primer weapons, specifically, the signature weapon of Lavos called Cedo. There are other primer weapons in the game like the Epitaph, but I prefer this Status Madness shotgun since it can proc multiple status in a target. Not just 3 or 4 status, but a minimum of 7 to 8 status, which ramps up the damage bonus of condition overload into maximum. I like this Plague Kripath Zaws since I'm not just enjoying the high damage from condition overload, but also seeing some juicy red crit numbers at the same time. But then again, it's not for all since it relies heavily upon a primer weapon, and I know some of you don't have it yet. You can use other primer weapons, but the damage bonus from condition overload won't be as high as what the pseudo combo can give. Now there's one usage for the Plague Kripath Zaws, and it's nuking. Plague Kripath isn't the only melee capable of doing this, but rapiers specifically can nuke a room when you combine it with the Mark for Death Helminth ability. Finisher attacks of rapiers can force proc slash, and if paired with Marked for Death, it can be a very deadly combo, especially with Warframes that have an augment for more finisher damage. Just take for example Fatal Teleportash with Marked for Death and wielding a rapier Plague Kripath Zaws. How about a fast attack Plague Kripath Rapier Squad Leader? Well, that's the same concept as the Plague Kripath pole arm we talked earlier. You can do two variant. One is the status chance oriented Plague Kripath Rapier, while the other one is the red crit Plague Kripath Rapier, which needs the hand of primer weapons. So that's all about it, lads. I hope that you find this video informative, and I'm sorry for being late in uploading, as you all know that I'm dealing with a very serious problem at the moment. Just a quick update on my father's health. The doctor declared that my father is COVID-free today and he can finally get out of the hospital. However, we are short of money and my father and wife are still in the hospital right now. I just arrived home and I feel disappointed right now that I can't send my father and wife home today. I was able to pay half the final bill of my father, and I'm hoping tomorrow that my boss will lend me some money to somehow pay the rest of the bill. I wasn't able to work for 14 days because me and my kids were also quarantined at home, but I'm still positive that tomorrow is the day that my father and my wife get out of the hospital. For those who have donated and shared my fundraiser link for my father, I thank you for all your help, since you are the ones who helped my father survive during his critical stage of the COVID disease. If it wasn't for your donations, then we couldn't have paid for all the medicines that my father needs every day. Thank you all, and may God bless you with wealth and health. I can't thank you enough for your help, and also, I want to thank my Cephalon brother, Ashisogi Jizo, for helping me out in the fundraiser. Seriously man, we didn't talk for months now, but you are still looking after me. Thank you so much. I hope your family is doing great and keep safe always. I'm very proud to say that you are one of my best friends in this community. Thank you so much. Thank you all, and I hope to see you on my next video. Squad Leader signing off.
This is the future. Evolution. This is the future.